Get your foot off the gas!
Get your foot off the gas, you're getting tased.
I'm trying to fix the car.
No, stop!
Get her out of here!
Stop!
No, please don't open that car on me, sir. Please, I'm scared of guns. Wait, you scraping my
Get out of the car! Get out of the fucking car!
I am!
Get out of the car right now! Get out!
Yeah!
I think she took the pole.
My foot is...
Hey, your friend's almost dead. Your friend is almost dead right now.
On a chilly spring afternoon, Lake County Police respond to an ongoing robbery at a nearby store in Mattawa, Illinois. What begins as a calculated theft for the thieves quickly unfolds into a case that no one anticipates. As the masked suspects make their getaway, they're unaware that one of them will soon be fighting for their life. The following is based on official police records. On March 6, 2023, dispatch officers are notified about 3 women trying to flee a store after shoplifting in a gray Kia Optima. Officer Fink is the first to arrive and spots the suspects driving straight towards his patrol vehicle. As he attempts to stop them, they speed past him without hesitation.
Just tried to go head on with me, and now they're taking off down 60, so I will terminate.
Yeah, sure.
They're eastbound 60, stuck at the red light at 21, and they're making it through, and they are continuing eastbound, but I am not following.
323, everybody. Yeah, you took off, no one else go after.
Roughly 2 minutes later, the dispatch advises that a crash has occurred, and the vehicle involved is believed to belong to the shoplifters. Officer Hill immediately takes off towards the crash site, but is met with a heavily congested roadway. Knowing time is not on his side, he requests additional officers for backup. As officers rush towards the scene, none of them are prepared for the nightmare they're about to drive into.
Where'd the car go that hit you? Over there, there it is.
The car collided with a truck and was sent off the road into a wooden fence, narrowly missing the telephone and the traffic light pole. As Officer Hill relays this information to dispatch, he observes that the car has sustained heavy damage, casting doubt on anyone's survival. Just as more officers are showing up, Officer Hill notices some movement in the back of the car.
Do not get out of the vehicle! Hands up! Stay in the car! Stay where you are! Do not even try to get out of the car! 323, we've got, it looks like all 3 occupants still in the vehicle. Airbags have gone off. The car's damaged pretty bad. Doors are unable to be opened, so I think we just got to get all 3 out of the car.
As Officers Fink and Kohler line up behind the vehicle, awaiting further instructions, they're unaware that the situation is about to become more dangerous.
Get your foot off the gas! Hey, they're putting it in reverse.
They're putting in reverse. Get your foot off the gas!
Put the car in park! Police officers, put the car in park!
Stay in your car!
They're trying to take off.
Officers soon discover that the driver is still conscious and actively trying to maneuver the vehicle out of the wreckage.
Put the car in park! Get your hands up in the car! In the gray Kia, get your hands up! Dan, what do you want us to do?
Well, then that's not what we can do right now. We're not going to approach the car.
Despite law enforcement's persistent commands, the driver continues to reverse the vehicle.
Take my spot.
Who's got a shield?
I do!
As Officer Loss runs to grab her shield, it's still unknown whether the suspects are armed in any way. Earlier that day, 25-year-old Jariah Terrell, along with 26-year-olds Kanaya Williams and Brittany Christmas, entered the Ulta beauty store in masks. The women were in and out of the store in less than a minute, yet managed to make off with thousands of dollars in merchandise. Back at the scene, while officers know that they're the shoplifters, they're still unaware of their identities. As Officer Loss returns with the shield, Officer Hill takes charge, knowing the next move could be the difference between the safety of his officers or a complete disaster.
Hey, let's go over to the street. Let's go over in the street.
Dan, let's go to that side so we can get the driver.
We can't get the door. You can't go. You can't open that door.
Okay.
That door is completely fucked.
We gotta go through the passenger side.
Who's less lethal?
Hey, back up! I got less lethal.
Who is less lethal?
I got less lethal.
You're gonna go hands on with them.
I will go hands on. Okay.
Got it?
Yep.
Hands on.
We are ready to move.
Stay to the side. Stay to the side. Because they're not going to go sideways.
Get your hands up!
Hands up!
Police officers, get your hands up!
Hands up!
Police officers, get your hands up now!
Passenger!
The back passenger's door, hands out the back window. Back passenger. I'll do the talking. Back passenger, keep your hands where I can see them.
Put your hands up.
Get out of the car right now. You get out of the car right now.
Kanaya can be seen opening the door to respond to the officers, but shuts it again quickly. She then moves to the opposite side and begins to talk with Officer Watson.
Stay right there. Don't move. Okay, don't move.
Get out.
Stay right there. You stay right there. Right there.
See my hands?
I see your hands.
See my hands?
Stay right there until you're told to do so. Until you're told to do otherwise.
Huh?
Stay right there.
Don't shoot me.
Stay right there.
Don't shoot me.
Nobody's going to shoot you. Just keep your hands up.
In a shocking discovery, Officer Hill finds Brittany to be motionless in her seat, a chilling realization that she may be seriously injured.
In the front passenger seat, are you injured? Are you injured? We're not going to shoot anybody. We need to know if you guys need help.
I don't know if she can get out, Dan.
With no response from Brittany, the situation quickly escalates into a medical emergency.
Okay, let's do this. Let's get up.
Get the back one?
Let's be lethal on this side for me.
9102, we'll put you at least 2 or 3.
You go ahead. You go ahead and watch the open door.
10-4.
Do we have a sec? I don't think we have a second. Keep coming up. Keep coming left.
Stop! Get your foot off the grass!
I'm not pulling out.
You!
Turbo!
Get over here now. Get to me. Get to me right now.
I will. Please don't shoot me. I'm scared. I don't trust you.
Get over here.
Well, I don't trust you not to run me
I'm not
over.
trying to run.
If you run my foot over, I'm going to shoot you.
No, please don't. I'm not going on me, sir. Please, I'm scared of guns. Wait, you scraping my
Get
foot?
out of the car.
I was getting out. Wait, don't shoot me. Please don't shoot me. I'm scared of guns. I don't care about it.
Yeah. I got it. Get back up there, Dan.
You get your foot off the gas or I'm going to tase you.
Get your foot off the gas.
Get your foot off the gas or I'm going to tase you. Get your foot off.
You're out! Get your foot off the gas pedal now!
If you get your foot off the gas, you're getting tased.
I'm trying to fix the car.
No, stop.
Get her out of here.
Stop. Get your hands up now. You put the car in, you put your foot on the gas again, you're getting tased. Get your foot off the car.
It's not on the car. I'm trying to get.
Don't move the gear. Shut the car off now. With the key, shut the car off. Shut it off.
Even with both passengers out of the car, the driver, Jariah, still refuses to cooperate with the officer's commands. Meanwhile, Brittany appears to have sustained a severe injury to her head, making officers question if she's going to make it. Time is ticking, and the officers need to find a way to safely remove Jariah from the vehicle before the situation gets worse. The officers know they're running out of options, and with tensions rising, their patience wears thin.
Take the key out.
I don't know how.
Get out of the driver's door.
Not letting me,
Open
sir.
it.
I
Then
don't know
crawl
how.
across to me now.
I'm trying. I don't know.
Turn the car off.
It's not letting me. Turn it off.
Turn the fucking car off now.
It's not fucking letting
Turn
me.
the car off.
I'm trying.
Right,
sir.
taser.
Oh, what the fuck? I'm trying to help you guys. What the fuck?
Get her out.
Get out of the fucking car.
I am.
Get out of the car right now. Get out.
Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah. Why y'all? I'm trying to put the car on board.
You weren't doing anything.
Yes, I was.
Finally, all of the passengers have been removed from the vehicle and detained. Their identities are still a mystery to the officers, and things aren't looking too good for Brittany.
I think she took the pole.
I don't know if she's breathing.
Can you hear me?
No.
No. Come on.
Officer James escorts Kanaya to a patrol vehicle, and what she says draws a grim picture about her priorities in the midst of this incident.
They shoot?
No.
They
They
shoot?
tased her.
They shot her.
She got tased.
They shot that girl.
That was a
They
taser.
shot her.
That was a
Can you get my stuff
taser.
out that car, please? Excuse me, sir.
What's your name?
My
Anaya.
Anaya.
Listen to me.
I hear you.
Listen to me. I got a lot of stuff going on right now, okay? I'm putting you in here. All right? We'll get you out of here in just a minute.
Hey, hello! Can you please give me my stuff, sir?
fuck? What the fuck? I hope really not dead, fuck. We gonna get charged with murder, fuck.
As Officer James returns with a female officer to do a thorough search of Kanaya, it's clear that the weight of the situation still hasn't fully set in for her.
Come on out for a moment.
You're gonna stand right here and I'm gonna search you.
Come on out. You're gonna get a pat down.
Can I ask you something real fast?
You're gonna stay right
Sure.
here.
All right, can I ask you something, Mr. James? Can you grab my phone, man?
If we can find your phone.
It's right there in that Gucci purse. You just had it in your hand. You were just looking at
Your
it.
friend is unconscious. I don't think your phone's your concern. Relax for a minute.
No, my phone is my concern because I had to call my family. And that's not my friend. They came to get me and she gonna tell me come stealing with some fucking people. Bitch, I don't really do nothing to that.
Okay.
Can you please grab my phone and my Gucci purse?
We will try and
It's
do our
right
best
there.
to
I
get
just
it
seen
for
you pick it up.
At the other end, officers are doing their best to save Brittany's life. Despite the gravity of the situation, Jiraiya continues to test the officer's patience, throwing more tantrums in the mix.
What's the problem, sir?
Okay.
What happened? I don't understand what is the problem. We didn't even do anything.
Okay, you're gonna find out.
What the fuck?
Let's search her and get her in the car.
Can you tell me what I did, sir?
Stop talking for
I didn't do anything,
Haley,
though.
can
I
you help
didn't even
me
go in the
search?
store. I don't have nothing. Nothing.
Phone and money in here.
We don't got nothing. Okay, we still have to check. Doesn't matter.
All of us, we're all good?
Yeah.
Y'all did that to my car.
She's the worst. She needs an ambulance.
she needs an
ASAP.
ambulance.
How many patients? I don't know.
Probably
Well, we have a lot of...
my fucking mouth.
She needs to go now.
And I'm pregnant. We don't have nothing. Okay, I heard you. So why do y'all grabbing us for? We have to check you anyways. What the fuck?
Hold on. Sit still. Hey, bring that monitor. Let me see that monitor. Yeah, she's got a good pulse. She's just unresponsive.
This was the confirmation the officers were desperate to hear, but with time slipping away, every second matters. But Jiraiya still isn't done, pulling at the very last thread of patience officers have.
What happened?
What do you mean?
I'm saying, what the fuck is going on?
Your BP. What do you mean? You guys crashed?
I know. She was driving and she crashed the car, but I'm saying, what happened? What happened?
You guys fled from Malta.
For what?
Trying to say she was driving?
For who?
Did you just try to say she was driving?
Just stay seated.
Wait, did I say she was driving?
Yeah.
No, the other girl was driving. I was just no.
You were in the driver's seat. We got it.
Don't entertain. Sit down.
I was never in the driver's seat, sir.
Sit down.
I never got in the driver's seat. I was in the back of the seat.
Stop. Stay seated.
I'm telling you the truth. I was in the back of the
Okay,
passenger
just stay.
seat. I don't have my ID on me.
Is this your purse?
Yes, that's my purse right there.
No ID behind your
Let's
phone.
take it to Terrell.
With no ID, the officers must take the name Jiraiya gives them for now. But soon, officers will encounter an entirely unforeseen scenario with the identities of the suspects. As they start to escort Jiraiya away from the car, Officer Loss gives her one last thing to think about.
Get her away from the car. Get her at least by the back of the car.
I know my finger is.
Okay, your friend's almost dead. Your friend is almost dead right now. Okay? Let's go.
Meanwhile, the paramedics arrive and begin to load up Brittany into the back of the ambulance. Jiraiya, who calls herself Vatasia, now sees the full devastation of the situation. But if the officers think that she will be more cooperative, they are sorely mistaken.
What was your name?
She wants to know how.
What's your name? Hey, what's your name? What's your name?
What happened?
What's your name?
Is my friend okay?
She's gonna be. The paramedics are taking care of her. What was your name? What's your name?
Let's take to Terrell.
What was your first name?
Let's take to Terrell. She crashed the fucking car. Is she okay? Is she okay?
No.
It doesn't look like she's okay. She wasn't driving.
Yes, she was. Brittany was driving.
After both remaining suspects are checked by the EMTs, they're transported to a hospital for a thorough checkup. Once Jiraiya and Kanaya are discharged, they're scheduled to be brought to the Vernon Hills Police Department to complete the booking process. As Kanaya is being driven to the station, she hesitates to provide her fingerprints. Noticing her unease, Officer Fink quickly picks up on her intentions.
I have done this for 25 years. 25 years. Okay? You are not the first person to lie to me. You are not going to be the last person to lie to me. You are not even the best person that's lied to me. So...
The officers bring them in one at a time, perform another pat-down, and then begin going through their belongings found at the scene. Jorge seems to accept her situation and complies with officers, while Kanaya seems far less cooperative, turning what should have been a routine procedure into a drawn-out ordeal.
Why I'm standing like though?
Hey, Jerry, come on over here. We're going to do a fingerprint inquiry real fast.
The fingerprint scan will expose who Kanaya really is, and she's doing everything she can to keep it hidden.
And we're not.
Sure, come on.
We're gonna be here all night, and I ain't doing no prints for some of y'all can't even tell me what the fuck going on. I've been asking you for 2-3 hours. Why am I here? I woke up, I was Xanax, all these guns out on me. So what's going on? Before you think you gonna quit?
Because you know what you did. The videotape shows what you did. You know what happened today, so don't disrespect us like that, okay?
Well, let's start this, and then we can get you changed.
No, Mr. Fink, you don't understand that y'all gonna have me here on the floor before I get that bed in that bathroom with no prints. Because I still don't know what video you watching and what you talking about.
It's a fingerprint inquiry right now because we don't have positive identification on you. You don't have an ID on you. Couldn't find a photo of an ID. So we have to take your fingerprints in order to ID who you are.
As the situation continues to escalate, officers struggle to maintain order.
We explained to you what you're being held here for, right?
Hold me then for it. Hold me for it. That's fine, but I'm not fingerprint for that. No.
You're not getting fingerprinted for charges.
I'm not fingerprinting for these people that I'm supposed to meet. I'm not doing it.
It's not that you don't.
You cannot convince me, ma'am. Don't waste your breath.
Okay.
Okay.
Then you're gonna sit here for a while, and eventually they're gonna force you to do it.
Ain't nobody gonna put their hands on me.
Well, it's a fingerprint inquiry. You've got to be fingerprinted.
I'm not doing that. Y'all might as well fight me now. It won't happen then. It won't happen now.
We're not interested in fighting with you.
So what you mean? What they gonna make me? You can't physically make me do shit that I'm not physically doing with my people.
Look, I'm not interested in fighting with you tonight. I'm not interested.
So what room I'm going in? Because I ain't fingerprinting tonight. So what's up?
Okay, we can try it again in the morning when you're going to go back into room number 4 then.
Ready when y'all are.
Eventually, officers aren't able to run a match on Kanaya either, and both suspects remain at the station for the night. The next morning, Officer Fink uncovers Kanaya's secret, which was all of her past criminal records, and confronts her immediately.
What's up?
Hey, Mr. Fink.
Hey, remember when I told you lied about your name? I was right.
You was right.
I have done this for 25 years. 25. You are not going to be the last person to lie to me. 25 years. Long time. Faces change, but behavior always stays the same.
You say you're born in Illinois?
Yeah, it's not funny. It's not funny right now.
Alright, we'll get this
Listen, you tried to play the game and you lost, so you just gotta accept it. Okay?
What game?
What's that?
Like what game?
The game of coming out here and trying to steal, dude. You can't do that. You know that. This ain't your first rodeo, so...
That's not valid. Look at my fucking background. I ain't done this shit in a long ass time. I ain't doing
You
this
just
shit.
got arrested in February for retail theft.
No, the I did it.
Yes, you did. It's on your criminal history in
No, I
Chicago.
didn't. No, I didn't. We got investigated, and when the case was supposed to be over, I didn't do shit.
You got handcuffed, or you got fingerprinted for it.
Yes, I did.
Okay, that's arrested.
But when they brought it up, and they brought up the cameras like y'all did, I didn't do shit. So fuck off with that one. Seriously.
With both Joraya and Kanaya officially identified, the case is coming to an end. However, back at the hospital, Brittany is still fighting for her life, and officers haven't been able to identify her yet. Again, they turn to Kanaya and Joraya for some answers.
Joraya, your friend that's at the hospital, they're trying to get a hold of her family. They haven't been able to notify anybody yet. Do you know what her name is and how to get a hold of her family?
No, her name is Brittany.
Do you know what her last name is? Do you know anybody that would know how to get a hold of somebody in her family? Okay, do you have any phone numbers in your purse where we can get a hold of her family? They need to know and go up there and be with her.
They do. I wish I could be with. It's sad, man. I swear to God, I don't know if
Who would know who she is? Who would know how to get a hold of her mom, her dad, her grandma?
Another room right here, bro. That's all.
Yeah, I went and I talked to her and we can't find her phone.
But officers don't have to wait long. Brittany Christmas survives her injuries and speaks with them. Joraya, Kanaya, and Brittany stole over $12,000 of merchandise, but most of it was successfully recovered. Jorge Terrell, the driver, faced 11 charges, but 8 were dropped in a plea deal. She was convicted of retail theft, aggravated fleeing, and driving under the influence. She was sentenced to 180 days in jail with 120 days credited. Both Kanaya Williams and Brittany Christmas faced 4 charges each, with 3 dropped through plea deals. They were each convicted of retail theft. Kanaya was sentenced to 128 days in jail with 64 days credited, followed by 18 months probation. Brittany received 18 months probation under strict conditions.
A forensic psychological analysis of antisocial, narcissistic, and oppositional behaviors in a high-stakes criminal event. The incident that unfolded on a chilly spring afternoon in Mattawa, Illinois, began as a calculated act of high-value retail theft, but rapidly devolved into a chaotic and life-threatening ordeal, offering a profound and disturbing window into the psychological mechanisms that underpin criminal behavior. The actions of the 3 individuals involved 2 5-year-old Jorge Terrell, 2 6-year-old Kenya Williams, and 2 6-year-old Brittany Christmas provide a rich and complex case study for forensic psychological analysis. Their behaviors, from the initial planning of the crime to the defiant and self-absorbed reactions in its traumatic aftermath, are not merely a series of poor choices made under pressure. Instead, they represent a consistent and pervasive pattern of thought and action that aligns with well-established theories of personality disorders, cognitive distortions, group dynamics, and the acute stress response. A detailed examination of this event reveals a confluence of factors including antisocial personality traits, narcissistic self-preservation, oppositional defiance, and the powerful disinhibiting effects of co-offending. The initial crime itself, far from being a simple act of shoplifting, serves as a critical diagnostic precursor, establishing a behavioral baseline of recklessness and a profound disregard for societal norms that predicts the catastrophic escalation that followed. The subsequent high-speed flight, the devastating crash, the prolonged and belligerent confrontation with law enforcement, and the manipulative conduct during the booking process are not aberrations, but rather the logical and predictable expressions of deeply ingrained pathological personality structures. This analysis will deconstruct the event chronologically, applying established psychological frameworks to dissect the motivations, cognitive processes, and emotional states of the offenders, ultimately synthesizing these observations into a cohesive psychological profile that illuminates the pathway from a calculated property crime to a near-fatal felony. The genesis of this high-stakes criminal event lies in the initial offense, a meticulously executed retail theft at an Ulta Beauty store. The swiftness and efficiency of the act, with the 3 women entering and exiting the store in under a minute while securing thousands of dollars in merchandise, immediately distinguishes it from common shoplifting, which is often impulsive or driven by need. This was an act of organized retail crime, a calculated endeavor with a clear profit motive. The psychological motivations behind such an act are complex and multifaceted, reflecting a distorted sense of entitlement and a profound disconnect between action and consequence. Individuals engaging in this type of theft often do not perceive themselves as criminals in the traditional sense. Instead, they employ a range of cognitive distortions and rationalizations to neutralize guilt and justify their behavior. A common justification involves depersonalizing the victim, in this case, a large corporation, by framing the act as a minor infraction against a faceless entity that won't miss it. This self-deception is a pivotal psychological mechanism, allowing the offenders to maintain a self-concept that is incongruent with their criminal actions, thereby reducing the cognitive dissonance that would otherwise arise from violating their own or society's moral standards. The choice of high-value, easily resaleable goods like cosmetics further underscores the profit-driven nature of the crime, a hallmark of antisocial behavior rather than a compulsive disorder like kleptomania, which is characterized by an irresistible urge to steal items of little to no value. This calculated pursuit of personal gain, coupled with a disregard for the law and the rights of others, aligns with the core features of antisocial personality disorder, ASPD, which includes a pervasive pattern of exploiting and violating the rights of others without remorse. The power of the group in facilitating this crime cannot be overstated. The decision to operate as a trio is a significant factor, as co-offending is a well-documented phenomenon in criminology, particularly among younger offenders, though it persists into adulthood. Research indicates that co-offending groups are typically small, often consisting of 2 or 3 individuals, which aligns perfectly with the composition of this group. The group structure provides numerous tactical and psychological advantages. Tactically, it allows for a division of labor. For instance, some members can act as lookouts or distractions, while others gather the merchandise, thereby increasing the efficiency and potential yield of the theft. Psychologically, the group dynamic fosters a sense of shared responsibility and can lead to group polarization, a phenomenon where the collective decisions and actions of the group become more extreme than the initial inclinations of its individual members. The presence of accomplices can embolden individuals, creating a feedback loop of risk-taking that might not occur if they were acting alone. A crucial element in this dynamic was the use of masks. Beyond their practical function of concealing identities, the masks serve a powerful psychological purpose by inducing a state of de-individuation. De-individuation is a psychological state characterized by a diminished sense of self-awareness and personal identity that can occur when an individual is part of a large group or is anonymous. Anonymity, as Zimbardo's research has emphasized, is a key facilitator of this state, as it reduces an individual's concern for social evaluation and personal accountability. By donning masks, Jariah, Kenya, and Brittany effectively submerged their individual identities into the collective identity of the criminal group. This loss of self-awareness lowers inhibitions and makes it easier for individuals to engage in antisocial behaviors they would not contemplate when their identity is known. The masks provided a shield not only from surveillance cameras, but also from their own consciences, creating a psychological space where the normal constraints of social norms and personal morality were suspended. The initial crime, therefore, should not be viewed merely as a contextual starting point, but as a powerful diagnostic indicator of the underlying pathologies at play. It was a calculated, efficient, and high-risk act that combined elements of antisocial behavior theft for personal gain, potential narcissistic traits, a sense of entitlement to take what they want, and the criminogenic influence of potent group dynamics, co-offending, and de-individuation. The act itself is a clinical demonstration of personality traits frequently associated with ASPD, such as high novelty seeking, low harm avoidance, impulsivity, and a failure to conform to social norms. It established a behavioral baseline of recklessness and a disregard for rules that powerfully predicted the subsequent escalation. The decision to flee from law enforcement was not a surprising or out-of-character reaction to the fear of getting caught. It was a direct and logical continuation of the same pathological decision-making processes that initiated the crime in the first place. The groundwork for disaster was laid not in the moments after the theft, but in the psychological composition of the individuals who chose to commit it. The arrival of Officer Fink at the scene marked a critical decision point, a moment that would irrevocably alter the trajectory of the event from a serious but manageable property crime to a life-threatening felony. The suspect's choice to speed past him without hesitation was a profound and deliberate act of escalation. This single decision transformed the incident from a retail theft, for which the consequences might have been relatively contained, into an act of aggravated fleeing and eluding a crime that inherently demonstrates a reckless disregard for the safety of self and others. This specific behavior is a core diagnostic criterion for antisocial personality disorder. It reflects a catastrophic failure of impulse control and an inability to plan or consider future consequences, which are central features of both ASPD and the criminal thinking errors associated with it. The driver, Jariah Terrell, in that moment prioritized the immediate short-term goal of escape above all else, completely discounting the significant and probable negative outcomes, which included a high-speed collision, serious injury, or death. This type of high-risk, low-reward decision-making is characteristic of individuals with low harm avoidance and high novelty-seeking personality dimensions strongly correlated with ASPD. They are prone to abandoning pursuits when faced with challenges, but are also biased toward initiating novel activities that promise a reward, in this case the reward of escape, however fleeting or unlikely. The ensuing high-speed chase and the eventual crash must be understood through the lens of the acute stress response, more commonly known as the fight or flight response. This is a primal physiological reaction that occurs in response to a perceived harmful event or threat to survival. When Jariah was confronted by the police vehicle, her amygdala, the brain's fear center, would have triggered a neural response in the hypothalamus, initiating a hormonal cascade. Her adrenal glands would have been stimulated to release catecholamines, primarily epinephrine, adrenaline, and norepinephrine, flooding her system and preparing her body for intense physical action. This response manifests in a host of physiological changes: an increased heart rate and blood pressure to supply the body with more energy, an increased respiratory rate to boost oxygen supply dilated pupils for better vision, and increased muscle tension to provide extra speed and strength. Jariah's actions aggressively accelerating past the police car and continuing to flee are a clear and prolonged manifestation of the fight component of this response. Her body was primed for aggressive action, and her focus would have narrowed to the singular overriding goal of overpowering the threat and escaping. A critical consequence of this physiological state is the impairment of higher-order cognitive functions. The surge of stress hormones, particularly cortisol, can damage the brain and disrupt clear thinking. Specifically, this response is associated with higher activity in the amygdala, the emotional reactive part of the brain, and lower activity in the prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for rational thought, executive function planning, and impulse control. This explains her persistence in a futile and highly dangerous course of action. Her behavior was no longer governed by logic or a rational assessment of risk, but by a primal, reactive, and emotional drive to survive the immediate threat. The devastating collision with the truck was the direct and predictable consequence of this physiologically driven high-risk behavior. The narratives detail that the car narrowly missed the telephone and the traffic light pole serves to underscore the complete abdication of control and the utter disregard for public safety that characterized her flight. It is crucial to recognize that this catastrophic escalation was not solely the product of a standard fight-or-flight response, nor was it purely the result of a pre-existing personality disorder. Instead, it was the outcome of a destructive and synergistic feedback loop where the physiological stress response amplified the pre-existing maladaptive traits of an antisocial personality. An individual with ASPD like Jariah already operates from a baseline of heightened impulsivity, recklessness, and poor judgment. When such an individual is placed into an extreme high-stress situation like a police confrontation, the fight-or-flight response is triggered. This response, as noted, floods the brain with stress hormones that are known to impair the prefrontal cortex. For a neurotypical individual, this impairment is temporary and can be overcome as the situation de-escalates. However, for someone with pre-existing and profound deficits in these very areas of executive function, the effect is exponentially more severe. The physiological response acts as an accelerant, effectively supercharging the individual's antisocial traits. Jariah's baseline impulsivity morphed into extreme life-threatening recklessness. Her poor judgment devolved into a complete and total failure to perceive or process the consequences of her actions. The crash therefore represents the culmination of this destructive synergy. The underlying personality disorder created the initial high-risk situation by choosing to flee, and the subsequent physiological stress response ensured its disastrous conclusion. This dynamic provides a coherent explanation for the seemingly irrational and self-destructive decision to continue trying to maneuver a total vehicle while surrounded by armed police officers, an act that defies logic but is perfectly consistent with a brain hijacked by both pathological personality traits and an overwhelming acute stress response. The immediate aftermath of the crash created a scene of profound trauma and chaos, a psychological pressure cooker that would strip away any remaining social masks and reveal the raw underlying personality structures of the offenders. The vehicle has sustained heavy damage, casting doubt on anyone's survival, establishing a context of life or death stakes against which the subsequent behaviors must be evaluated. Within this crucible, the responses of the three women diverged dramatically, providing a stark study in contrast. Brittany Christmas, rendered motionless in her seat by a severe head injury, represented the tangible, life-threatening consequences of the group's actions. Her silent, unresponsive state was a chilling testament to the reality of the situation. In stark and jarring opposition stood Jariah Terrell. Despite the wreckage and the presence of multiple police officers, she remained conscious and was actively trying to maneuver the vehicle out of the wreckage. This behavior is profoundly abnormal. In the face of a clear medical emergency involving her passenger, and an overwhelming and armed law enforcement presence, her cognitive and emotional state remained locked in the fight response. Her focus was not on assessing injuries, seeking help, or surrendering, but on the singular, futile goal of escape. This demonstrates a severe cognitive and emotional deficit, a complete failure to shift from a reactive, survival-oriented mindset to a more adaptive, reality-based state. Kenia Williams's initial actions were more typical of a fear response. She opened the car door to respond to the officer's commands, but quickly shut it again, a sign of her fear and indecision. Her movement to the other side of the car to speak with another officer suggests an instinct for self-preservation, a natural reaction that would soon be eclipsed by a more pathological and revealing form of self-interest. The prolonged standoff that followed became a masterclass in maladaptive behaviors, offering a rich dataset of verbal and nonverbal cues for psychological analysis. The officer's commands were persistent, clear, and aimed at de-escalation and safety. We're not going to shoot anybody. We need to know if you guys need help. Yet the responses from Jorge and Kenya were characterized by non-compliance, emotional dysregulation manipulation, and a consistent deployment of psychological defense mechanisms. Jorge's behavior provided a textbook illustration of the symptoms of both oppositional defiant disorder (ODD) and antisocial personality disorder (ASPD). Her refusal to turn off the car, get out, or follow any command, even under the direct threat of being tased or shot. Get your foot off the gas or I'm going to tase you is a classic manifestation of the active defiance and refusal to comply with rules and requests from authority figures that defines ODD in adults. This oppositional stance was not a momentary panic, but a sustained pattern of resistance. Later, she would employ the defense mechanism of projection, a key feature of ODD, by attempting to shift blame for the crash onto the police with the statement, "Y'all did that to my car." Projection served to protect the ego from feelings of guilt and responsibility by attributing one's own unacceptable actions or failures to external sources. Perhaps most flagrantly, her repeated and blatant lies about being the driver. No, the other girl was driving. I wasn't. I was in the back of the passenger seat in the face of direct observation by multiple officers is a hallmark of the deceitfulness central to an ASPD diagnosis. This was not a sophisticated lie, but a desperate, transparent falsehood uttered without regard for its plausibility, reflecting poor impulse control and a failure to learn from immediate context. Throughout the entire ordeal, Jorge expressed no concern for Brittany's life-threatening injuries. Her focus remained entirely on herself, her vehicle, and the evasion of responsibility. This profound lack of remorse is a cornerstone criterion for ASPD, indicating an indifference to having hurt, mistreated, or endangered another person. Her intermittent tantrums. What the fuck? I'm trying to help you guys, and her manipulative claim of being pregnant were transparent attempts to regain control of the situation and garner sympathy, showcasing poor emotional regulation and a tendency to exploit the emotions of others, another trait associated with ASPD. While Jorge's behavior was defined by active opposition and antisocial disregard, Kenya Williams' actions revealed a core of narcissistic self-preservation. Her initial pleas, "Please don't shoot me. I'm scared. I don't trust you," reflected a genuine and understandable fear for her own life. However, once she was removed from the immediate perceived danger of the vehicle, her psychological focus shifted with breathtaking speed and clarity. Her primary concern became her material possessions. Her question to an officer amidst the medical emergency, "Can you get my stuff out of that car, please?" is a stunning display of narcissistic self-absorption and a complete and total lack of empathy. A core feature of narcissistic personality disorder (NPD) is a lack of empathy, an unwillingness or inability to recognize or identify with the feelings and needs of others. In this moment, Brittany was a non-entity to Kenya. The only things that registered as important were her own belongings, specifically her Gucci purse. When an officer attempted to reorient her to the gravity of the situation by pointing out that her friend was unconscious, Kenya's response was both chilling and psychologically revealing. "No, my phone is my concern. And that's not my friend." This statement is a powerful example of cognitive dissonance reduction. Cognitive dissonance is the psychological discomfort experienced when holding two conflicting beliefs or when one's behavior conflicts with one's beliefs. Kenya was faced with the dissonance between her self-centered behavior, worrying about a phone, and the social expectation of showing concern for a grievously injured companion. To resolve this discomfort, she employed two strategies. First, she explicitly prioritized her phone, a reflection of narcissistic entitlement, the belief that her needs and desires are paramount, regardless of the circumstances. Second, and more significantly, she devalued her relationship with the victim by declaring, "That's not my friend." By cognitively reframing Brittany as a mere acquaintance, she effectively neutralized any moral or social obligation to feel or express concern, thereby rationalizing her own callousness and restoring a state of internal consistency. This act of minimization, combined with her later deceitfulness during the booking process, paints a clear picture of an individual driven by a pathological need for self-preservation and a profound deficit in the capacity for genuine human connection or empathy. The extreme stress of the crash scene therefore functioned as a powerful catalyst, a psychological crucible that burned away any superficial layers of social conformity and revealed the raw, unfiltered essence of Jariah's and Kenya's personalities. Under normal circumstances, individuals with personality disorders can often deploy superficial charm or calculated manipulation to navigate social interactions and conceal their underlying deficits. However, the intense, life-threatening stress of the crash and the subsequent armed confrontation created a state of cognitive overload and severe emotional dysregulation. In this state, the brain's executive functions, which govern reason, thought, and social appropriateness, are severely compromised. The capacity for sophisticated deception, or social grace, is obliterated, replaced by the most ingrained, automatic, and instinctual patterns of thinking and behaving. For Jariah, this core programming was one of oppositional defiance and antisocial disregard for rules and consequences. She did not just lie, she lied belligerently and implausibly. She did not just resist authority, she resisted futilely and dangerously endangering herself and everyone around her. For Kenya, this core programming was one of narcissistic self-preservation and an empathetic void. Her fear for herself was visceral and real. But the moment that immediate threat subsided, her psychological operating system defaulted to its primary directive, the preservation and recovery of her own assets, completely overriding any capacity for concern for another human being's life. The crash scene thus became a natural experiment applying immense psychological pressure that forced the subjects to reveal their true psychological makeup, providing a clearer and more vivid diagnostic picture than a controlled clinical interview could ever hope to achieve. The transition from the chaotic, high-stress environment of the crash scene to the controlled, low-stress setting of the police station for booking did little to alter the fundamental behavioral patterns of the offenders. This continuity is significant as it demonstrates that their conduct was not merely a situational reaction to extreme duress, but rather the expression of enduring pervasive personality traits. While Jariah's behavior shifted towards a more passive compliance, a change that could be attributed to exhaustion, a strategic calculation that further resistance was pointless, or the ability of some antisocial individuals to feign cooperation when it serves their immediate interests, Kenya's defiance remained steadfast and pronounced. Her adamant refusal to be fingerprinted, "I ain't doing no prints," for some of y'all was a direct and deliberate challenge to authority in a context devoid of any immediate physical threat. Her stated justification, "Can't even tell me what the fuck going on," was a transparently false pretext as the reasons for her arrest were unequivocally clear. This was not a misunderstanding, it was a power struggle. Her refusal was a manifestation of a narcissistic need to maintain control, to resist submission, and to reject the legitimacy of the authority figures she now faced. Officer Fink, drawing on his 25 years of experience, correctly identified her behavior not as a unique response, but as a common and predictable pattern among offenders who attempt to manipulate the system. His comment, "You are not even the best person that's lied to me," served to reframe her defiance as a failed and unoriginal tactic, a psychological maneuver intended to undermine her sense of control. The subsequent use of the fingerprint scan to uncover Kenya's true identity and her prior criminal record is a pivotal moment in the analysis. The revelation of a recent arrest in February for retail theft establishes a clear pattern of recidivism, a core concept in criminology that refers to a person's relapse into criminal behavior after receiving sanctions for a previous crime. Her immediate and vehement denial of this fact, "No, I didn't," and her attempt to reframe the prior arrest as a misunderstanding from which she was exonerated when they brought up the cameras, "I didn't do shit," are classic examples of antisocial cognitive patterns. These patterns include self-justificatory thinking, the displacement of blame, and deficient moral reasoning, all of which serve to protect the individual from accepting responsibility for their actions. This behavior demonstrates a profound failure to learn from past negative consequences, a key feature of both ASPD and a high-risk profile for future offending. Kenya's conduct aligns with several of the Big Four and Central 8 risk factors that are strong predictors of recidivism. These include a history of antisocial behavior, the prior theft, antisocial personality patterns, deceitfulness, manipulativeness, lack of remorse, and association with pro-criminal peers Jariah and Brittany. Her actions are not those of someone who made a one-time mistake, but of an individual on a persistent criminal trajectory for whom offending is a recurring behavioral solution. The final interaction concerning Brittany's welfare served as a definitive test of empathy. When officers attempting to notify Brittany's family of her critical condition at the hospital requested contact information, both Jariah and Kenya proved unhelpful. Jariah's response: "It's sad, man. I swear to God, I don't know. Her family was a hollow performance of concern. It was a display of superficial charm, a glib and shallow imitation of empathy, devoid of any genuine substance or helpful action." This ability to mimic socially appropriate emotions while lacking the underlying feeling is a well-documented trait among individuals with antisocial and narcissistic personalities. Kenya, consistent with her earlier behavior, offered no assistance. This final interaction confirmed their profound and unshakable egocentrism. Even when presented with a direct, simple, and humane opportunity to aid the person who was nearly killed as a direct consequence of their collective criminal enterprise, they were either unable or unwilling to do so. Their self-interest remained the impermeable barrier against which all appeals to empathy, decency, or shared responsibility shattered. The legal resolution of this case, while procedurally standard, carries significant psychological implications that may inadvertently reinforce the very cognitions that drive the offender's criminal behavior. Jariah Terrell faced 11 charges, including extremely serious felonies that endangered multiple lives. Yet 8 of these charges were dropped as part of a plea deal, resulting in a sentence of 180 days in jail with 120 days credited. Similarly, Kenya Williams and Brittany Christmas each had 3 of their 4 charges dropped, receiving sentences of 128 days, with 64 credited and 18 months of probation respectively. From a legal standpoint, these outcomes are the product of a system designed for efficiency through plea bargaining. From a psychological perspective, however, this resolution risks validating the offender's core pathological worldviews. A central cognitive error in individuals with narcissistic and antisocial traits is a super-optimistic belief in their own superiority, and an ingrained conviction that they will not face serious consequences for their actions. They often harbor a sense of entitlement and an ownership attitude, believing they are uniquely equipped to get away with their transgressions. The outcome of this case provides powerful confirmation for these distorted beliefs. They engaged in reckless, dangerous, and destructive behavior that resulted in a catastrophic crash and a life-threatening injury, yet the ultimate legal consequences were minimal. This experience does not impart a lesson about the severity and certainty of punishment. On the contrary, it teaches them that the system is navigable, that consequences are negotiable, and that their getting away with anything mindset is in fact a viable strategy. The legal system's resolution therefore fails to provide the significant negative reinforcement necessary to challenge and deconstruct their maladaptive and antisocial cognitions. This lack of meaningful consequence, when combined with their established personality disorders, criminal histories, and association with pro-criminal peers, makes future offending highly probable. The cycle of recidivism is not broken by this intervention, it is arguably strengthened. In synthesizing the totality of the behaviors observed throughout this incident, from the calculated theft to the defiant booking process, a clear and disturbing psychological portrait emerges. The actions of Jariah Terrell and Kenya Williams are not indicative of isolated lapses in judgment, but are consistent with pervasive and deeply ingrained patterns of personality pathology. The following table provides a structured mapping of their specific behaviors to the diagnostic criteria of relevant psychological disorders, illustrating the systematic nature of their maladaptive conduct.